Khorne here, and today I will be updating an old guide I did on how to do a Belegar Ironhammer migration campaign, where we go on a journey to recapture Karak 8 Peaks and collect enough grudges along the way to reach Nolingram and claim a free army. Now, the reason why you would want to go immediately to capture Karak 8 Peaks is because Belegar has a 50% upkeep cost increase to all of his units if he does not own Karak 8 Peaks. But he also gets a very strong buff as soon as he captures it, called Oath Fulfilled, which gives him some fairly decent bonuses. This campaign will be on legendary difficulty with very hard battles, but just be warned, this can make the campaign very challenging. Now, it does remove all the negatives you start off with, but it also puts you in the middle of some very dangerous enemies. On turn 1, attach your heroes to the army, start building the military building for recruiting grudge throwers, demolish the barracks you start off with, and attack your first enemy. You can auto-resolve this one or the battle afterwards, but you will have to fight one of the two battles manually to take as few casualties as possible. After winning the battle, attack Karak Buftar, occupy the settlement, and confederate Karak Khorne. After confederating, put the newly confederated army into underway stance and jump over towards Karak Izor. Now, for something that will probably get us put in the book, but what must be done, you will want to sell Karak Khorne to the Black Venom Greenskin faction for all of their income, and sell the other settlement to Averland for as much income as you can get. You could also get a trade agreement here, but I would suggest reclaiming it afterwards. At Karak Buftar, you can construct a income building. I would suggest the one that gives you Oath Gold. Start researching technologies. Unfortunately, most of the technologies for crossbow units have been removed, but you will still want to research all that you can get. For Belegar, start putting skill points into his red skill line, into Thunderer, and later on into Tactician to get bonus ammunition for your range units. And just end the turn. On turn 2, start force marching Belegar towards Karak Izor, transfer all the units from the second army into Belegar's, and end the turn. Turn 3, attack Karak Izor with Belegar, reinforce with the second lord, put skill points for your heroes into skills that boost your army as a whole. As for Master Engineer, get the bonuses for ammunition and missile damage, and for the Runesmith, get sharpened weapons. For the Thanes, whenever you can, just get the Guardian for one of them, and snipe for Rangers for the other, and begin the battle. Now, this battle shouldn't be overly difficult, and it will also serve as an example of how you will have to win the battle at Karak 8 Peaks. Set up your army in the same location as I did, and move your units to the blind spot of the enemy towers. Afterwards, use your heroes to demolish the gate, and move them up a little bit behind the gate to have the enemy attack you and blob up their units against your heroes. Use the grudge thrower to kill those clumps of enemies, and use your missile units to kill the enemy as well. The battle will take a while, but you will win it and come out almost full health. After winning the battle, sack the settlement, then occupy it with the second lord and force march Belegar towards the border princes. Demolish any building that isn't an income building in Karak Izor. Swap the commandment to increase your local recruit capacity. Disband the lord. Disband the dwarf warrior with great weapons and the miners from Belegar's army. And end the turn. Turn 4, move Belegar to the edge of your territory. Start recruiting 3 grudge throwers. Construct a income building, also one for Oath Gold at Karak Eight, if there isn't one already. And end the turn. Turn 5, just start force marching Belegar through Scragg's territory towards Belegar, swap the commandments to growth, and end the turn. Turn 6, exact same thing, just don't trespass on Belegar. Now on turn 7, your starting province will want to revolt, so what you will do is start repairing the settlement building at Karak Eight, recruit a Slayer Lord preferably, and begin recruiting 2 grudge throwers. You will want to swap Belegar into underway stance and jump towards Barak Davisbag and end the turn. Over the end turn, the Greenskin Revolt should just besiege Karak Eight. Then on turn 8, launch the attack on the Greenskin Rebellion and just auto-resolve the battle. Over at Belegar, you will want to join war against the Scabby Eye faction with Barak Var for some income and attack Barak Davisbag. You should fight this battle manually and loot and occupy the settlement, and if it doesn't have a barracks built in it, you should start building one. Be warned though, as sometimes Barak Var will occupy the settlement before you do, so if that happens, you will just want to start heading towards Iron Rock and end the turn. Turn 9, if Aranessa still hasn't declared war on you, you will want to sell her Karak Buftar for some income and, if you really want, a non-aggression pact. Demolish the military recruit building in your starting settlement and start building up the settlement building at Karak Eight. Now, there is a lot of variation I have found that happens now with this start. There are 2 options for Thorgrim. One, where he is at war with Skarsnik by the time you meet him, and the 2 of them are stuck fighting each other for the foreseeable future. And 2, where Thorgrim is at war with Clan Vermis and has occupied Karak Dorn. In this campaign, Thorgrim was at war with Clan Vermis and not at war with Skarsnik. So here we will want to join war against the rats, sell Barak Davisbag to Barak Var for a decent amount of income and diplomatic agreements. I really wouldn't recommend getting an alliance, but you can if you want. Attack and fight the battle at Iron Rock. The battle itself shouldn't be all that difficult. Just be careful about Menace Belows and you will be fine. If everything went smoothly, Belegar should have hit rank 7, and you will want to get the Bane of Destruction skill, which will boost your army quite heavily when fighting against rats and greenskins. And then just end the turn. Turn 10, you will want to jump Belegar in the underway stance towards Black Crag in this position, and sell Iron Rock to Thorgrim if he was at war with the rats and has Karak Dorn. If not, and Karak Dorn belongs to rats still, you will want to wait and see what the rat army at Black Crag does over the end turn, and just end the turn. Turn 11, if you haven't sold Iron Rock, and the army at Black Crag stayed in the settlement, then you will want to besiege Black Crag and start recruiting an army at Iron Rock to attack Karak Dorn. If the army has moved towards Iron Rock, then you will simply want to sell Iron Rock to Barak Var and still attack Black Crag. Now the battle at Black Crag should not at all be a difficult one. Just set up your units in this position, destroy the 1 tower that can shoot at you, and wait out the Menace Belows. After they used all of their summons, use the heroes to attack the gate, move in the artillery to shoot at the enemy, But keep your infantry units far away enough, as the rats will have warp lightning. Using your heroes, you will try to kill the enemy spellcaster, or at the very least zone him away from your infantry, and using your artillery you will destroy any blobs that form around your heroes. After dealing with the spellcaster, you can move in your ranged infantry to shoot the enemy units. The battle will take a while to win, but if you are patient and careful with your heroes, you should come out of the battle fairly healthy. After winning the battle, just loot and occupy the settlement, and make sure it will have a military building in it, so that you can sell it next turn for a military alliance with Sorgrim. I would recommend getting the Aura of Endurance and Rune Warded Armor with Belegar. Recruit a Demon Slayer and 2 miners with him. And just end the turn. Turn 12 is the turn with the biggest amount of variation you can see in this campaign, as there is quite a few stuff that can happen over the end turn. If Skarsnik isn't at war with Thorgrim, he will have started going towards Karak Eight Peaks, probably the same time as you, so get ready to meet him. Move your lords towards the edge of your territory, towards Karak Eight Peaks. Sell Black Crag to Thorgrim for a military alliance, and you will meet Skarsnik. Immediately declare war on Skarsnik, and what you will accomplish with this is basically throw Thorgrim under the bus and have him be your shield against Skarsnik. This is all, of course, if Thorgrim was not already at war with Skarsnik. Ends the turn, and this is where things can get very interesting. You might not see it over the end turn, but you will see Skarsnik appear from the fog of war in underway stance close to Karak Eight Peaks. Now, what can happen is that the army sitting at Karak Eight Peaks will sometimes intercept Skarsnik and lose to him, which will then lead to Skarsnik confederating the mutinous Gits and claiming Eight Peaks. Now this will make the battle at Karak Eight Peaks much easier, as you will basically be fighting only the settlement garrison. But you will also get less grudges, which will make it harder to reach Nolengrom. Turn 13, you will want to attack Karak Eight Peaks regardless of who owns it. And fight the battle in a similar manner as the battle at Karak. Just be careful of how you spend your ammunition and make sure to kill the enemy rock clobber with your grudge throwers. The battle will be the longest yet, but with a bit of patience you will be able to win the battle with next to no casualties. Also, just because you can deny controlling large armies, I would advise you not to, as the more enemy units are clumped up, the more value you will get by firing at the blobs. So after winning the battle, you will just want to occupy the settlement. And there you have it. We have successfully occupied Karak Eight Peaks by turn 13. You can now start building up the landmark at Karak and try to defend it from a eventual attack by Iketclaw. I would recommend you also construct the Sinker's Den to recruit some gyros at Karak Eight Peaks, as they will be very useful when dealing with Skarsnik. To reach Nolengrom, you just have to occupy Valea's Sorrow next turn, or if you got extremely unlucky and are still missing some grudges, you can also fight the 2 quest battles, which will have enough grudges to get you the rest of the way there. From here on out, I would suggest you first deal with Queek, and if Thorgrim has died by this point, which can happen, just make sure to eliminate Clan Vermis and fortify Black Crag with gyros to defend against Skarsnik. If you have sold everything to Thorgrim, you should have at least 10 turns before he is killed, and you have to go back to defend Karak Eight Peaks, which should be enough time to finish off Queek. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe for future content. Thank you all for watching, and Until next time.
Khorne's horde fights as one.